I'd like for you to introduce yourself and then, say company you're with. Go ahead and start with you, please.
RTLers. Joe Bolt with Vortex.
Sergio with Baywater. Randy Knight, DRC.
Victor Reed, DRC. Philip Heck, Vector Contract. Mitchell Webb, Vector Contract. Justin F, API.
Thank you. Guys, we appreciate you coming. So this is a pre-bid for Lupin expansion. And anyway, we're just going to walk through all of the scope of work and point out the highlights on it.
So as I was saying, we got a full instrument air package, our standard one. We'll rip out this instrument air package that's there. Operations, sometimes we'll put a diesel into this volume tank. We'll repurpose these two volume tanks here and here, or instrument air. The package will have a volume tank on it already. So we'll swap out this instrument air system, drag this stuff off. And then my plan is, if we get this extra land, right, we're going to basically come to the south of that. We'll set a new sleeper rack in here for our header with our suction, discharge, our dump, all of our drains and open drains in here. And then we're going to fit our slug catcher in where those day tanks are at right there. So it's about a 30-foot vessel, 86 inch in diameter. I have all the drawings with that, so I'll share all those documents. But my plan would be, we'll tie that into the existing system and leave this existing system that's here. All of our drains and everything, obviously, are coming in to our tank here. Just to try to leave all that stuff that's there. So we've got to minimize our downtime. If we didn't get the land, there's an option B, but right now, my plan is we're going to get the land and we're going to build a whole new sleeper rack. Just set that basically beam on grade, right? You guys will be responsible for the beams. We can punch all of our holes and then fabricate everything up. Just a sleeper on grade through there. And then we'll plan on setting our two Waukesha 7044s right in here on our layout. When we do lay that out, we can kind of see how slug catcher, just do that on a concrete foundation, set that vessel there. I know that pipeline is bringing that receiver in here. I don't know exactly where, 12-inch poly, but there is a line that comes in and kicks out, so they've got a little space there, but I don't know the depth of it. So they might put it where that dumpster is right now. Just depends. But we'll have to bring that line. They'll bring that line into a common point, and we can walk over to the inlet, because that's going to be, we'll have to work to basically backfeed that as we come out of our new slope section on the existing, and then also bring those field lines into that side. On that discharge scrubber that's there, we're going to basically bypass that. So where that valve is, it'll shut down. We're going to refab a piece of the jumper around that discharge. It used to be a two-stage gas leak. That's why some of these lines are kind of running out. The gas is the whole field. So they put that scrubber in. We don't have any of those issues. So that's 6-inch bypass around. And all that meter and everything is all sized the way we need it. So there should be minimal amount of work. I was just on the proposal, like I said, to bypass jumper line coming around that high pressure knockout. On the tank farm, my plan, we can move, I'll give it operation. Some of this equipment, high and all this isn't going in here. We just stored them in here before we bought WTV. I need to get with them and figure out if we need to move them a little tighter to the fence. But obviously, we'll get with environmental, right, on our tank cleanup on this tank. But the plan would be to set that new tank farm as far over as we can. So if we do come in here, and we ever want to keep add a couple more units, we have real estate to with that tank farm. So, yeah, we just spray in liner, and then I've got the tanks. I put it on there. So two 400 barrel. We need to build it for two 400 barrels, but we're only going to install one 400 barrel tank. I'm going to try to get this right over here where we can keep this in service and then work the containment and then pull this out and connect those lines to it. And then whatever environmental we got to do around that thing. I would just say with that.
Who did you say was providing the
Y'all guys like it. Yeah, y'all just put the containment up, install it, and spray it, containment. Y'all do the metal one, right? Metal, just the metal with the spray in. Anything inside the, yeah. We probably.
They might let us do a spot, but
We outside as well, right?
there's a lot of shit happening out here
We're gonna
already.
need a spot. Yeah, well, it probably would best just to drag, just to picture frame the compressor areas where the compressors are gonna go, and then to our header, and then everything inside there. Let's just go ahead and figure that. There's no telling what's. I mean, there's a line coming here. There's an old line running there that runs on grade that runs out. So we'll need to exploratory over there and just find that and see what our depths are.
But I think we have lines running
Yeah.
parallel with the road too, so.
Yeah, I think on the other side, right?
Not-
What's that? Yeah, we'll build a little berm, a skid steer, and we can put them in.
You do it at night, you do it over there, nobody will know.
Don't dump it where all the gophers are at. Anybody come through that way? Your maps take you through there?
Is there another way?
Yeah, you can go straight down this way, just straight follow the power lines, and it'll reroute you, and you'll pop out on one of the other roads over here on the other paved roads and come out.
1787.
That's not the
over
main
there.
road coming in. What road?
1787.
1787.
The header rack, though, we only built it with a few units.
Yeah. For right now. And then if we'll rebuild those spools in between those units, that should help out a little bit with the congestion.
Well, we are looping into the existing
Sorry?
header, right?
Is it control valve getting out of there? Is that what you're trying to do, or?
We'll walk it down, I'll show you. But yes, we will loop the suction. So that might depend, like where that slug catcher, if it's 30, 40 feet, I'd imagine it's going to go to the end of that air volume tank right there. Probably it'll take up that whole space right there. And then we would start our sleeper rack set down on this side because our sump and everything fall right here on the drain. So that'll run probably to those methanol tanks right there, and then we jump off and we can just lift that suction down there on the end of that valve. We can start at the inlet.
We'll be putting in day tank, big day tank, a big new oil, and a glycol tank, and we will need fill piping for them, along with the discharge pipe, with environmental buckets.
Same thing on the fuel gas skid, right? We're out methanol tank there, so all that be tubed up, and we'll provide the filter and direction on how they need the double filters and everything to those pumps, and then instrument air and everything to that system as well. We can go walk over here on the front if y'all want. If y'all have any questions, I guess, when we get over there.
You said on the hatchback we can just cut a window around and mechanically dig inside.
Yeah. When we lay those units out in here, probably go ahead and picture frame those, and then the interconnect to the rack. Well, anything inside here will already be picture frame, so cross. How many days do you think we figured?
I do like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying in general here. 7, 5, 7. I just figure 7 days the hydrovac. And then put that 7 days in your bid. And then if we get past that, then have an itemized day rate and lower in the quote, right? What the day rate would be. The other thing I know you guys have all been doing, the cat boxes for us that we do. When Odie does the civil, where these units are going to sit, I'm going to have him come in here and just rack all that cleachy out with a dozer since we're going to have it in here. He'll build all that in lifts. So all we're going to be doing is setting our cat box on grade. You guys won't have to come in and excavate, do your little whacker packer. He's already in here with the equipment, so I'm going to have to come in. He'll just take a whole swap through here, I mean, really, you won't need to really hydrovac over here, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do that for this one.
Yeah.
That'll cut that hydrovac time down.
So 5 days. So 5 days of hydrovac. Hey, is everything all right? Everything good? I'm on a bid one. Yeah. You good? Oh, thank you. We can walk over the inlet. So there's a line coming in with a line located here. And this line is going there. This line's running out. And it jumps and runs over. So we're going to try to put that launcher in here and configure the pipeline. It used to be like a two-stage site, so they've got some disconnect and isolation from the discharge, and then they've got a station recycle over here. But our fuel gas and everything,
Hello.
we're going to set that on the back side when I'm envisioning. And we're going to have to figure, I'm going to give the pipeline free work.
Well, you can do them however you want, you're better off.
We got a valve there, we can tap, feed in, pull from.
That other deal for pipeline, yeah.
We're gonna tie it here, feed it to Lupin down there, because it's only got an 8-inch suction header. We're not gonna push nothing for, I mean, that's why they're having problems already right now. But instead of us trying to rebuild all that, I'm just gonna come in here, we'll set a whole new slug vector for the liquid we're gonna be seeing, and we'll start setting our relayer. So my plan would be to bring that field line in from pipeline, and then we can hit a T, we can tie that into our new slug catcher, and then we can pull these lines into our slug catcher, and then we can jump out. I mean, and we can item, we can look, that scrubber right there, we won't really necessarily need, so we can jump her around. On the slug catcher, we were talking and doing, what was it, 20 inch, or was it 16? 20 inch on the inlet and the outlet of the slug catcher, and then our header, we're going to do 20 inch coming down the suction line. What's that? Yeah, on our new headers right here. Yes, sir. Super rack. Yeah. And then all our discharge line will still be 6 inch. And we'll tie in down there. Then that will run through the meter when we get to the discharge. All of our drains, we'll trace those back to there, and then that tank from there, we'll take them to the new. We'll take them to the new, so we'll be able to tie in on our drain points. We'll have to walk those down and identify those. There's no holdup right now on land, so we're going to keep moving with this plan and getting that property. We will have to figure, right now they're just pulling fuel gas off their discharge right here and then running. So when we do our fuel gas skid, we'll have to coordinate that outage to make sure we can do as much work as possible. Suction control valve, have those pieces already spool, fabbed up, tested, that game plan to go. And then when we take the fuel gas system down, we'll have the fuel gas skid already put in, everything already piped up to where we can do a quick shut down. And that should allow us to hang valves going down, so that way we don't take another outage. Minimize our outage. We probably will have to look at the tanks because we're running high pressure drains and everything else for dumps. We'll have to fix those. We might have to take a small for the tank. Behind the back screen. There is when we walk down the header, there is a pipeline that is going north. The valve's open. So if we do take our outage for this, I've been trying to locate. Nobody knows where that line goes. Nobody knows nothing about it. But if we shut that valve, we do shut this down. That's going to be something we gotta plan with my inspection group in operation with Tobias and them on if that valve's going to hold or if it might be going nowhere. Like this line here goes nowhere. But so that's just, we do get ready to start thinking of a shutdown. We can't assume anything here. So we have very limited information on the site. I mean, our instrument air package, when we do a plot, we can look at it. We don't have to go right back in that same spot. I mean, we can tie it in, you know, on the other side over there where the power's closer. There's power already there. That little skid, we can fit it up, I think, pretty tight.
So you're talking about that disconnect that to get the other one ready to go, right?
Yeah, and there's a tie-in down there, so if we have to bring a generator, piece, you know, it's mobile, instrument air packages, sure that's running, we'll coordinate that. I'll take care of that. And I think the only one that's running right now is inside that little enclosure. These other little, we can figure out. We might have to just jump or something with a hose, you know, to get us going, and then we can, like I said, get that stuff all pulled out. I figure, you know, a little bit of time working that thing there. I mean, that's low deck was like this right here.
Cross the rack and stuff. Make it concrete sleeper for them.
Yeah.
Put you in beams up instead of here.
Right.
They don't have to go JD with sleep a little more concrete.
Right.
Just to make an idea. I know y'all don't really like putting on here, so I get that.
I think on this one, I'm just going to set beam on grade. We'll just put all the 20 in, the 6 in, all the drain, run all through there. Then our interconnect to the units, we can put that on. We'll do the same thing.
You don't want beer for maintenance, that's where you just set them around.
I mean, about to sleep.
Okay.
There ain't no telling what the hell's under there.
I know,
I don't want to be
that's why-
trying to punch no hole.
Yeah.
That's why I thought if you wanted, I put concrete around like that big, one so high, if you wanted it that solid, you know.
Yeah.
Well, so just lay on the ground with the beam.
Yeah, we're just going to put beam on grade.
Yeah.
So the sleeper and then the interconnect.
Yeah.
And these units will have start bypasses. The units that are coming here, they're brand new 7044s, but they don't. But it's in on the 7044s. It's on. I'll check the drawings of the packages when I get back to the office and see.
They have the
I think they have
that
it.
blind in there, flip around, open it or something. They can get it.
And then we can walk down here to the end. And once we get mechanical going, I'll put the electrical together. We got obviously enough power here. They had 2 500 watts electric drives. There's spare buckets in the MCC. So, yeah, I think that's the only air compressor that's running. That little twin.
Are you relocating all this?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Well, I'm thinking we'll leave all this. We really won't be down.
How far is our header rack coming from the thing?
I don't know. Let's lay it out and see. I think we've got the sumps and everything. And if we do, we can run that line here and the same thing. Should be able to tie our drains in, though, huh?
Right. We'll tie everything.
We'll tie everything in down here on the end. We'll have our drains, our discharge, and then we're going to loop this suction. That'll help feed these units in between. You can see that valve right there with that other valve kind of going 45 underground on the rack right here. That's that pipeline I was telling you about. And then I'm gonna put it on grade.
Building a whole new rack.
Way out there. Come all the way around here and loop into it. Okay.
We can sledge down off the end of that 20 inch and make a jump tie in here. I mean, really, if we wanted to, we could build a small piece and put it in down there. Unless you wanted to go in here, whatever's easiest, depending on how our layout is. Because this unit's not going to ever run. We'll rip it out if we ever were. But we could always loop it and tie it in at that flange, depending on if that valve holds.
Ain't no cat in hell that valve will hold.
Yeah. And suction control valve that's there, and I got an overview picture, and then we'll walk this, and then that way we can send a video out to everybody. So when y'all are working your bids, you can kind of go through it, compare, and then I'll take the overview, but y'all can look at, basically gonna refab that piece of that suction control valve, put that control valve back in, because it sweats down to 4 inch. So we need to get that a little bigger, tie it in off there. It's just restricted a lot. Slug catcher, instrument air package, fuel gas skid, high pressure, low pressure knockouts. We'll set the sleeper rack with the 270-44 walker shawls, and then tying in all of our suction and discharge here. Reworking the 2 suction control valves on these 2 units. This unit here they just put in, it's a 2-stager. It's good the way they put it in. And then we'll have the tank farm with the 400 barrel tanks, and then the bypass right here around this high pressure scrubber. We're gonna jump around that, and then we'll just blind all that off and kill it and get dead that.
But we're gonna relocate the
vessel. If not, I'm gonna look at there, that extra air package. I'm thinking power's already right there towards the bucket. We'll set it out, we'll set the extra air package right there, and we'll come out of that bucket, candy cane right over, and run our header down. Sleeper, so probably a unit where that truck is, and then a unit where those pallet ports are at. And then if we need to, like I said, where that valve is, where we tie in, we'll run a little sleeper down through there with the discharge, right? So that way, if we do need to add another unit, my idea would be we can just basically build another module right there next to it, keep adding that.
You want to draw with the header? That way?
Just right now, just 2.
Yeah.
Building it for 2. But like I said, when we do tie in those lines, we're not gonna build. My point is get the whole header all the way down there. We can just jump on. I mean, what is your thought?
All right. And anything that's left with your feed here, we could run it over and put it on that assisting rack and run it down and tie it in. Right? Rather than try to excavate or run it all the way around the end, we really don't want to do that. But.
Jump into the existing. Yeah, jump into the existing rack. Like I said, I mean, once those 2 racks go in, we're going to be probably with those light tanks on this side.
Every bit of
What I'd envision at least.
50-foot spinners on our unit.
Yep.
So, by the time our slug catchers make all that transition down, we'll be pretty far down there.
The instrument air package we're going to clear out, yeah. And then we're going to relocate from the tank farm, relocate, right? So, the sump and all that stuff will stand, leave that there, that existing stuff, and then our new sump got the little surface mounted white metal like we did I'll send you a picture of them that we did. It's pre-done stuff and nothing. It's on grade right there by the unit. You know, let's tie it into the drain, open drain system.
Your overhead, can you give me the parking
Connections? Yeah. We'll do 2 big common ones and then we'll jump in. So we'll just set them right there by the rack. So I mean, we're going to get them as close as we can. I'll send you what we're doing over there at yeah, Brandon.
Well, it's kind of be similar to what we did at Osprey too, where they're just setting on, I mean, they're just independent 8-inch, 6-inch or 8-inch I-beam, they just slide plant. Bolt our pipe to it down through there. But we got to level it out pretty nice first.
Sleeper? Headed right.
So are you going to want that just sitting on grade, or are we putting that in a wooden sandbox?
What you referring to? What are you referring to? I'm off.
Our header, our steel on our headers, is it going in a sandbox? On grade.
I don't think there's any point putting it in a box. I mean, I think if we just figure coming in here and great and packing it, rolling it, making it all, you know, shooting it level all the way across, so that header, that beam's gonna go down there. We should be able to set all of our beams down in there, and then we'll tie everything together with a pipe.
We'll get Odie to make that part flat, then, if that's what we want
I'll have
to do.
Odie in there. If not, shoot all this in because it's still
Okay. Just set on grade. No.
there's the fine beam. Just any structural stuff.
Yeah.
8 inch.
I think it's 8 by 20 or 25. Or, I'll get the dimension on it. We'll send that out.
We'll have all of our bids. I'm gonna give them about 2 weeks. So any information I'll exchange this week. I know we don't use open text or whatever, or the Power Advocate, but any questions, just email me, and then I'll respond to it through our invite. I'll reply all, and then I'll put comments in red. That way everybody's open up. If anybody has any questions or responses, I'll just keep that going that way. Okay.